Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for, I love when the first falls on like a Sunday or Monday. It just makes it like a nice start. So Monday, December 1st through Friday, December 5th. I loved this week. We'll get into it. Obviously, that's the purpose of the podcast. Just going to throw it out there right now for everyone. I'm hungover, so I have no idea how this is going to go. My throat hurts. We were singing a little bit too much last night. Yeah.
It's the holiday season.
Yep. Well, it was the annual holiday party that is the first Friday of every December. And this year was a good year. And just in case anyone does not know, they make chocolate Crown Royal.
Which apparently is dangerous.
But so good. Today's episode is brought to you by Chocolate Crown Royal.
That'd be a good sponsorship.
Sponsor me. Us. But yeah, it's really good, guys. So, all right, let's get into it. So we have a couple Port Charles pipelines. First, I can't remember if I had texted you about it or told you about it, but I had a friend text me. Hold on, let me find it. It was on November 22nd. So, I mean, it was like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Was that 2 weeks ago? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Watching 1965 Cinderella on Prime.
Oh.
And this is the Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella that I always talk about. I was 6 years old then and remember watching it on TV and memorizing all of the songs. Think you'll know the prince is Alan Quartermain. And she sent me a picture of Prince Charming and Cinderella of Stuart Damon and Leslie Ann Warren. And then we had a full-blown conversation about how much I loved the movie and about how he sang the song. I sent her the video of him singing at the nurses' ball. And what did she say? Because I think she said something. Oh, he could still sing well and aged amazingly well. I was like, yes, he did. That Cinderella imprinted what, quote, love should be on my 6-year-old brain. Looking back, not so sure that was a healthy viewpoint. No, we don't all get a Stuart Damon or Prince Charming. But yeah, so if you've not seen the Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella from the 1960s, it's good. And it's the one that if you watched Alan sing on the nurses' ball, those were some of the songs that he sang were from the musical. Have you ever seen it?
I have not.
Oh, you have to. It's so good. It is. It's done on, you can tell that it's sets.
Okay.
And it's just, if it were to be done now, I don't know. It's good. Just watch it. It's on Amazon Prime, apparently. So if you have Amazon Prime, watch Cinderella. All right. And then I screenshot you the other day. Our buddy, Jeff Kober, is coming up on season 2 of The Pit, which means, because guys, it's actually filmed in Pittsburgh. And then I was so excited because I'm like, I'm going to reach out to him and be like, hey, when you're filming, and then it occurred to me that already happened because I remember seeing casting calls for it. So that means that he was in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Oh, but yeah.
I haven't watched that show.
Oh, you haven't?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
All right. I'll have to check it out. I know like it's a big deal around here because the hospital that it's filmed at, my mother-in-law or ex-mother-in-law, whatever she is now, works there. And so she's always talking about the hype of it. So
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
No, did you like ER?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you'll like it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not exactly like ER, but it's Noah Wiley, so there's that.
Right.
But it's good.
All right.
It goes like hour by hour in like throughout a day.
Okay.
It's really funny because they bring in a lot of local mentions except for they said something about, I can't remember what it was. There was like a couple things that they said, and we're like, yeah, they say that in other cities, but that's not what you say in Pittsburgh. And can't remember exactly what it was. Because as soon as they said it, JD and I looked at each other like, it's not a thing.
All right. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Okay. And then we did receive several emails. So let's get to those. Just find them all. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold it. Sherry, thank you. She sent us the original birth dates from the 1990s, or from 1990 when I was born, to now, before Soras, the group of friends that should have been.
Oh, that's awesome.
Do we want to read all these?
No, I think we should save it for
I think we're going to save this for
research. Thanks for doing part of our work for us.
Yes, thank you. And then she sent a follow-up email. I was just thinking that the friends group that should have been groups I made would be a good way to break up the 411 episode. I think I will try to research group 1 of Maxie, Dylan, and Serena this weekend or next, when they were born, when they were Soras, and how much, in a brief recap of what was going on at the time. Yes!
Yes, thank you.
That is fantastic. Yes. Okay, we are going to be looking forward to this.
That's awesome.
Well, and then the rest are actually just fan spotlights. So we have some fan spotlights coming up, but we're not going to read them right now. Sorry, I like snooze any messages that come in.
Oh, that's exciting.
So like, wow, we have a bunch of emails. No, we have a bunch of fan spotlight requests. Yay.
That's perfect, because we'll be done with Bobby by the end of the year, and then we can have a bunch of fan spotlights for the new year.
Yay. After our year recap.
Right?
All right, so I'm sorry. That was a little anticlimactic. I thought we had a whole bunch of Port Charles pipelines, and we do, but we're just not reading them right now because they're not really Port Charles pipelines. They are soon to be 411s. There we go.
There you go.
That is not a new corner we are starting.
No.
No. Do you have any fun news?
I don't.
See anything? No? Well, this upcoming Thursday, we will be talking about Bobby Part 14, years 2014 to 16.
I'm excited. It has a lot more of that friend group conversation, too.
Yep. All right. So for Hulu headlines, on Monday, the Quartermains celebrate Thanksgiving. Willow walks down the aisle. Oh, okay. Hold it. I have one more thing. If you go to our Instagram, Facebook, in our Facebook group, or TikTok, you will see a video that I made of our Thanksgiving leftover pizza.
That was really cute.
That was inspired by the Quartermains. JD joked that we should have made pizza. I think I mentioned this on last week's podcast. I think that he had said we should have pizza. And I was like, yeah, we are so making leftover pizza. And we did. And it was so good. I'm just going to throw that out there because I had to buy, if I had known about it while I was making the dough for the rolls, I would have made enough dough for the pizza dough, but I didn't. So we just got like the regular store-bought, roll it out dough. But we used, I like cranberry sauce. The rest of the family doesn't. So like I put cranberry sauce on like a corner of it because we did a rectangle, and then put gravy over it. First I par baked. Just go watch the video, guys. But there's gravy, there's mashed potatoes, there's turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, corn. The kids don't like a lot of that stuff. And afterwards, I was like, man, I should have made theirs out of the mac and cheese instead of the mashed potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be next. But yes, on Monday, the Quartermains celebrate Thanksgiving. Willow walks down the aisle. Trina is in for a shock. Isaiah makes a sacrifice, and Nathan tracks down a suspect. On Tuesday, Willow makes a big decision. Laura gets a happy surprise. Michael receives a tempting offer. Emma is determined. Brooklyn backs up Gio. On Wednesday, Curtis makes a revelation. Nina is distressed. Emma and Gio make their move. Lulu delivers some tough love. And Laura opens up. On Thursday, Jason offers wise counsel. Britt drowns her sorrows. Sidwell wields his power. And Jordan offers reassurance. Oh, and Molly is stung. And then on Friday, Sunny is backed into a corner. Britt leans on Jason. Carly tries to make amends. Laura is haunted. Kai is there for Trina. I am so glad I did not read the descriptions because Laura is haunted.
Right.
I wish that they didn't say that.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know.
You did not know. Nope.
Okay. Where do we want to start?
Do you want to just start with Monday? Because that's the first day of the week.
Sure. It was also the first day of the month. Look at that. We've covered that now twice.
Woo! No, I thought it was nice that they finally let Chase make a full Thanksgiving meal. He had it done. It was on the table. It was ready to go. And then they decided that because of the curse, they did not have faith that they would actually be able to eat it because it has been on the table before. And they like psyched us out for a minute because we saw Outback looking over the turkey like he was going to dig in.
But who did we see before that? How did we know that Outback was in the kitchen?
Oh, yes, finally, finally. I was so happy to see him back on the screen.
I started crying when Leo came down the stairs. First of all, because I have been terrified that they were going to recast or remove diagnosis because we've done that. And
Right.
I was going to be a lot of words we don't say on the show.
Yes.
Kind of mad.
Right.
But I did. And also because he's huge now. He's
I know. Right. Definitely a young man now. But yes, he mentioned
Ned came
that
home too. But yeah, Leo's like, well, what's Outback gonna eat? Because, she's in the kitchen.
Yes.
Leo's now a vegetarian because he read a book about turkeys.
Yes. Poor Olivia. She's like, you need to have some protein. He's like, yeah, no, that's okay. But Chase had already planned. He had a tofu. Yes. I couldn't think of it for a second. Anyway, so they go to sit down and they say, no, it's too risky to even try to eat. So they take it to the hospital and donate it to, I would say, all the deserving people, except for Portia was there. So the mostly deserving people of the Thanksgiving meal.
So the current co-chief of staff thanks them because Monica, the previous chief of staff, had the tradition of making sure that the staff was taken care of on the holidays. Who do you think that responsibility should fall on?
Right.
So she basically was just saying, so by the way, I'm a horrible chief of staff and did nothing for my people.
She bought the good granola bar for her boyfriend.
Right. Like for her to seriously say, like, yeah, Monica always made sure that we were well taken care of, and to basically admit, and I didn't do squat. It's not like she did something and was like, oh, that turkey looks so much better than the one that I burnt, but I still brought it in, or the one that I burnt. Or we should have had Portia at least having a mishap.
Right.
Trying to take care of her and actually have like the Quartermain Thanksgiving be the saving one.
Right.
Because I thought that just made her look so bad, as if she needs more ways to look bad right now. Then Emma mentioned about how Robin and Patrick always talked about Monica's generosity. I find it so hard to believe, though. Did we just say that Ned came home from the hospital?
Yes.
Okay. Tracy missed the first Thanksgiving in her house?
Yeah.
Really? She did? Because then they all come home and there's a stack of pizzas just waiting for them. Who did you think sent the pizzas?
I just thought that Ned had ordered them.
Okay.
Why? Who did you think had sent the pizzas?
Because there was a note on top, I thought they were from Monica. I thought that Monica had preemptively ordered, that she knew she was going to be gone. And this would have been perfect. Remember how we said they need to make a Stewart's pizza?
Yes. Right.
Monica should have ordered the pizzas ahead of time with a note saying, and I kept hearing great things about this new place named Stewart's.
That would have been sweet.
Guys, seriously. I know that we joke about us being available for consultation, but I'll totally just do it.
Right. I did like that they remembered, or they've listened to us, and that they've figured out they're allowed to mention people that aren't on the show right now, because not only were we reminded that Tracy still exists out there, but then later, we don't need to get into it right now, but Laura with Lucky, she actually had a phone call and got some flowers from him. Like, he is still there, even though he's not.
And Aiden is back with him.
Right?
Because he came home because we heard that he was in school.
Right.
But now he's back with Lucky, but we never heard anything about it. And we never even heard Liz saying, none of my boys are going to be home for Thanksgiving this year.
Right.
So, I mean, I thought it was great that so I'm assuming she was with Laura and Ace at the soup kitchen.
Right.
But like, it would have been really nice to have seen them making those plans or Laura even saying, hey, I know Aiden's going to be with Lucky for Thanksgiving. Kevin's away. Why don't we go do something, or let's have found out that this is something that they've been doing for the past few years together.
Right.
I would love that.
Or I also don't understand why we're not having Thanksgiving with our daughter that's been in a coma for the past however many years and is now finally back. Lulu just brought over a pie and was like, "Here, Mom, I thought of you after the fact."
Right. Laura didn't have dinner at all anywhere.
Right. I don't understand it. But anyway, I didn't mean to get ahead of ourselves. I just like the fact that they remembered to mention people that were not there.
No, you're fine. I thought the same thing. And then I really thought when she opened the door, when she looked through and she was like, oh, it's more flowers. I actually thought it was going to be Lucky.
Oh, no, I assumed it was going to be Kevin.
Well, as soon as the door opened, I saw the body. I was really excited. This would have been a good week to record me watching.
I just assumed Kevin because we hadn't seen her talk to him in so long. But then last week she remembered she can call her husband and was talking to him, was leaving him a voicemail before she found Dalton's body.
Yes.
So,
but she wound up telling him all about Dalton.
I was surprised that she told him so quickly. Not that she ended up telling him because, you know, they're adults. They like to have open communication, but I thought she was going to struggle with keeping him out of it for a while. And then she told him instantly.
I think that, like you just said, like they're adults, but also they have such a good relationship.
They do.
You know, because he's obviously not so happy about it. Then he was even saying, I'm sorry I wasn't even here for you. Do you think, okay, and then this is the other thing, back to Lucky real quick.
Uh-huh.
If Lucky's in Ireland, do you think that Kevin saw him? Because he was just in Dublin.
I don't know.
They never mentioned that they were together at all.
Yeah, that would have
made sense.
Yeah, he could have brought home like Christmas presents for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
An ace, like, hey, I saw Lucky. Figured I'd save him some postage.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, she told him about how, you know, Sidwell was definitely, because, she even told him down to the fact where Sunny took care of it.
Yes.
And her car has been cleaned. And then we're going to get a new character because he said that there was a teen that checked themselves into the psych ward at GH.
Right.
We don't mention stuff like that unless we're going to find.
I agree.
So is it going to be someone we know or new character?
I think a new character because I can't think of anyone that we know unless they bring back Maurice's son to play a more in-depth role.
He's not a teen. He'd be 23 now.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know then. I was just thinking
though.
That character was troubled with the alcohol and stuff. What if he turned towards drugs? I'm sorry, I can't remember what that character name was.
Adam.
Thank you.
It just popped in my head.
That was perfect. Good job.
How much stuff do we have to Google? That one just came out of nowhere. And I could absolutely be wrong, but I really don't think I am. I think it was Adam.
Yep, I think you're right. But yeah, that's the only person I can think that we have any backstory on.
That would be good if we brought him back. I mean, he's not a teen. Did he say teen or did he just say young?
I think he did say teen. I think you're right.
Okay.
So yeah, but I'm good with a new character. That would be perfect.
Yeah. But so when he left to go see that person, Sidwell shows up and has a photo of Laura looking in her trunk. Did he have a drone following her?
Right. Like I
understand. Like her tire blew out and her tire did blow out.
Well, she had a screw in her tire. So she had the flat tire. So he knew, I'm assuming, obviously that he put the screw in her tire. So he knew that she was going to have to stop somewhere along the line, but not right there enough to set up a camera.
Right. Because it would have been, I was just thinking like he might have set something up to pop her tire at a certain point, but also that's a dangerous thing where you could get somebody else's car.
Right. No, it was a screw in her tire. So he knew she had to stop, but not enough to pinpoint it that that's where she was stopping. And it wasn't even just like a snapshot of her pulling over or whatever. That was a very clear picture of her opening the trunk and then one with Sunny also.
Yep.
I don't understand how he got those pictures, but okay.
I loved her flipping out on him though and saying, I have faced worse people than you and I'm the only one left.
Right.
They aren't there and she is. I don't know. Whatever she said, it was fantastic. He was not anticipating her calling Sunny.
Right.
And he's like, you just gave me an even bigger gift because now he can go blackmail Sunny. Mm-hmm. But then Ezra shows up And I know that Ezra is slimy and I know that he is scum and all those horrible things. But when Ace started crying and Sidwell went over and picked up the baby monitor and said something again about how, remember, I told you everyone has their price and I think I just found yours.
Right.
When they panned to Ezra, I was expecting a slight hesitance on his face, not a smirk.
Right. Right.
Like, I guess I really struggle with when even bad people target kids.
And you would think that Ezra has some type of family in Port Charles and would be making that connection like, oh crap, if he would threaten Laura's grandson, then who would he threaten in my family? Just maybe a look of realizing, man, this guy's worse than I thought he was, instead of going right along with it.
Exactly. But yeah, like on the way out, he just kind of looked back and was like, I guess I was just looking for something from him as like a hesitancy, like well, I didn't know we were doing that,
Well,
like, I knew we were coming over here to threaten her, but not her grandson.
His feelings were probably hurt and he was still processing that, because she was like, dude, just want me to resign and then Ezra can take over. And Sidwell like ripped into him and was like, no, Port Charles doesn't want him. Like, it is obvious that you are the person that can get stuff done, not him. So we're not doing that. Ezra's just standing there like, okay, I apparently suck, whatever. So maybe his head was still there and that's why he couldn't comprehend that they were threatening a child.
Okay.
Or self-centered, still processing about himself.
Oh, yeah. He was probably only thinking about himself. Yeah.
Yeah. But then Sidwell leaves her house and goes to Sonny's and is like, hey, so you don't want to kill me anymore? And Sonny's like, what are you talking about? I wasn't planning on killing you, but why are you telling me I don't want to now? And he pulls the picture out and says, if anything happens to me, then this picture, along with the gun that has Laura's fingerprints all over it, will be sent to the police so that they know that she's who killed Dalton. I want to know how he got her fingerprints all over it. Like, can you transfer fingerprints that easily?
Yes. We've seen this on something else. Hold on. Can fingerprints be transferred? Yep, they use tape.
Okay. I would like to have seen Sidwell sit there with some tape off of something that Laura had held and then transfer. I want to know how exactly we do this, because I feel like that would be such a process. Possible, yes.
He has crazy technology. Like, he has access to technology that we don't even know. I mean, he probably has a file.
Maybe it's
that has like everybody's fingerprints. Like, he didn't just get them. I feel like he's the kind of guy that he's literally had them on file since he came to Port Charles. He was probably like, I'm going to need this someday. And just some random way, picked up maybe a cup or something that she had and sent it to his lab and whatever. And was like, listen, I'm going to need this, because that's how they do. Because they could just do it by making like a silicone hand. It was on an episode of CSI where there was a guy whose hand was used as like a mold for something.
Okay.
His fingerprints kept showing up places. And then they realized that he was just used as like the model. But he was like the model for it. But for some reason, like, his fingerprint was the fingerprint on the mold. He actually was guilty. So it was kind of an ingenious way for him to try to say, oh, it couldn't have been me. That just happened to be because of this. He was the person. But I know that when they need to take fingerprints sometimes they have to remove the skin and put it on, like, I'd be wearing a glove and then they would have to put the other person's fingerprints on, like, fingers on, to be able to get it to roll, to be fingerprinted. Although I don't know if they have to do that now because of technology. They probably can just scan it.
Right.
Although you still have to put your finger on the thing.
Right. Unroll it, yeah.
But I would imagine that Sidwell when he came to Port Charles, he targeted on who he knew he was going to have something on at some point. And so he's just been sitting there with Laura and Sonny's and probably every police officer's fingerprints by just following them as they go about their day.
Okay.
I give him that much credit. I feel like he put that much thought into it. I feel like he's very detail oriented.
He is detail oriented. He is a step ahead of where I would have thought to have been.
I can't decide if that was just smart of me or scary.
Right? Everyone know to not make Shannon mad. She may have your fingerprints stored somewhere and you don't even know it. Anyway, so he continues telling Sunny, you don't want to shoot me or kill me because I have all of this evidence. And then he leaves, and as he's leaving, Laura's calling to say, I have to tell you something. And Sunny's like, yeah, I already know. Sidwell just paid me a visit.
And Sunny has a new bodyguard.
Yes. He was very thorough. I liked that.
Mm-hmm. I have to say, though, I'm enjoying Sidwell. I'm enjoying his odd humor and just, I don't know. There's something about him that I'm enjoying watching him, because he's so off.
I don't know that I like him just yet still.
I don't like him. I just like watching him.
Right.
I could do without the character. I don't think he's a good character. I mean, he's a good character, but he's not a good guy. There we go.
Right.
That's one. He's much like Cyrus, who okay, so I watched Fridays this morning, hungover, laying down in my bed. Like it was 9:30. We said we were going to record at 10:30.
Yes.
It was 9:30. I was like, shoot, I need to watch GH. So turn it on and we see Laura. She was on the couch and then she heard a knock at the door and gets up and Cyrus is at the door. I shot up in my bed. Like, what? And he says, hey, sister, she's like, you're dead. And he's like, but I'm always with you. He's like, here, I brought you a Christmas gift. And it's the gun that shot Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, but I can't take that to the police. It's not going to explain. And he's like, well, it doesn't have your fingerprints on it, so you have nothing to worry about. And she's like, but I can't explain how I know, like that Dalton was in my car, like all this stuff. And he's egging her on saying, but you've always told me to come clean and that it's never too late and all these things. And then Esme comes down the stairs.
That was
like,
great.
yeah, like you always told me to do. And it was funny because like when I sat up and I was like so into it, JD's like, you're not hungover anymore.
Just for this 1 minute.
I'm like, no, that was my rally. But that was so good.
That was so good.
Was so good. Because I was just sitting there going, oh my gosh, who else are we gonna have come talk to her? And it wasn't until Esme that I wasn't 100% certain if she was dreaming or not.
Right.
That was so good. Very, very, very nice surprise. And neither one of them were on the opening card.
Right. That was good. They left it as a surprise.
Yes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Which they should have done also, which we'll get to it, but with Valentine, because James Patrick Stewart was on the opening card. So therefore, at the end of Friday, you knew who it was.
Yeah.
Because they don't show them on the cards if they're just showing flashbacks.
Right.
It's only if they're in a new scene.
Yes. Yeah, that was great. That was perfect. And then Kevin comes home and she's all shaken up and he's like, what is wrong? I mean, what else is wrong? And she tells him about Sidwell's visit and then he's trying to help her figure out what to do. I just don't know where they're going to go from here. Like Sonny can't kill him until he finds the information to keep it from being sent to the police.
Yep. But he wants the Pierce.
He does.
And he's like, you think it's not going to be weird that, we just had the election and the Pierce were such a, contentious point of it. And Sidwell's like, two businessmen doing business? Yeah, that's not going to throw up any red flags.
Right. They'll just think that you demanded more money and then we finally made a deal, which he's right. I mean, you hear about that stuff all the time. So
yeah. Well, yeah, because he was going to be forced to give them to him.
Right.
If Measure C had passed, they were going to be taken from Sonny.
Right. So at least this now get some money. Yeah. Yep. Poor Sonny.
I'm really liking it. I love that we're doing something this good with Laura.
Yes, I agree. I like seeing the older characters getting a good storyline.
Although we keep forgetting, where the heck is Anna? No, thank God they remembered her this week. And they're like, oh yeah, she's still undercover with the WSB.
But I feel like Brennan forgets that she's gone or that he had anything to do with it because you're not seeing any phone calls, any text messages, any anything checking up on his prisoner. He's just having Thanksgiving with Carly and yelling at Joss for still hanging out with Vaughn.
Do we know that Brennan had anything to do with it? I think we were just thinking that he did. I don't know that we know.
I guess we don't know, but because of the fact that he called her in and they like had that whole conversation and stuff, I feel like he has to be part of it.
Who told everyone? He's who told everyone that she went on a last minute WSB, right? Who told everyone?
It must have been. I hate whenever we forget recent.
I know.
Because
it's such a big plot point.
Yeah, it had to be him. I mean, no one else could say that. It had to have
been. Okay.
Because she didn't make a phone call, right? We didn't see her get a phone. So no. So it was him. See, my brain was.
Yes, she did. Hold it. No, she did. She did. Did she tell someone?
No, she didn't tell anyone. The only thing that we've seen of her was in the room where you could hear the voice come over the speaker and say,
"Welcome to your new life, Anna Devane."
Yeah.
So and that's where I think that Sidwell is Faison's brother.
Right. So yeah, it was Brennan. Brennan said that she'd gone on a last minute adventure. So he should be checking on her.
There's a real life woman named Anna Devane.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's not
No, but she was a victim of a domestic dispute and was kidnapped by her ex-husband Anthony in 1992.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, people are also anticipating it could be Alex.
Oh, that would just be crazy.
Yeah. But who told everyone Anna went on a WSB mission? It was Emma. Emma initially told others that Anna had gone away on a WSB mission. She had received a message from Anna stating that she was going to be out of town for a while on assignment for the WSB, because we kept saying, because we had talked about how she had left so quickly with Jason. So that's why Emma wouldn't have like really questioned, oh, she just had to hurry up and go.
Right.
But still, I forget how the poor Charles, because it wasn't the PCPD.
No.
Or was Jordan told? No. I forget that entire. It was only a month ago, right?
It was only a month ago, but I mean, that's what happened is then they didn't say anything more about it. I would think that people would be talking like, have we heard from Anna? When is she coming back?
Yeah. So that's what tells me that it wasn't Brennan then, because we would see him getting updates about her.
Unless he just forgot. Sometimes you take prisoners, you just forget, apparently.
Not Alexis, though. So Rick goes over to Sunny and brings a bottle of, I think it was scotch or bourbon or something. And he's like, they're trying to rebuild their brotherly relationship, whatever. And he's like talking so fondly of Alexis. He's like, we didn't work as like a couple, but, we make really good partners when it comes to like professional stuff. And he was being so sincere.
Yes.
Like, he was there was no snark in it. You would never have guessed that he just spent a month in her basement.
Hey, maybe it's like a new therapy. Just lock you up for a month and then you realize how lucky you are and come back a whole changed person.
Could be. But I do like them talking about the girls.
Yes. And I like
that you're going to start liking Rick.
No, I like that Sunny was open to it, though. Like, whenever Rick said, should we share a bottle? He wasn't like, what are you trying to get at? And continuing to question his motives. He was like, well, you got to start somewhere. And then Rocco bursts in and says that he can't stay at his house because Dante has told him that he is not allowed to be. Again, where is Olivia to tell Dante, do you remember being a young man? Do you remember making mistakes? How are you going to keep blaming everything that Rocco does on Gio? It's just ridiculous.
Right.
But anyway, he says that they told him that he can't hang out with Gio anymore and that it's not Gio's fault and he can't stay there. So he asks Sunny if he can stay with him. And Sunny's gets this look like, how did I suddenly get all these grandkids moving into my house?
Well, not just that. Rocco said to Dante before he left, what gives you the right to say anything about family when you left Mom and me twice?
Yes.
And left.
Yes. That was good. And then
And I
it's
think that Sonny's doing a really good job because he's like, listen, I don't always agree with your dad, but like you maybe should not have said that.
right. And then
But
just
he also
left.
understood
Like,
why he said it because you're not wrong,
right.
which is kind of what Lulu said to Dante too. And she's like, well, did you think he was not never going to have feelings about this?
Right.
You know? But then Dante shows up at Sonny's, and that's when Gio and Emma had shown up with all of the dogs, and immediately Rick was mad because he said, you guys just made Rocco an accomplice. Like, you didn't even, and he knew that, like, they didn't mean to, but he's like, what are we going to do? And then that's where Dante came in and then starts yelling at Gio again.
Exactly.
And then Rick reminds Dante of the Good Samaritan law. Did they mention that on the show recently? Because I know that I brought it up because of Seinfeld.
Right.
Because we started talking about it, but I can't remember if it's because they actually mentioned it on the show or if I used it in reference to something.
I think that you used it in reference. I don't think that they mentioned it.
So we're going to say that that's where they got the idea for that from, was from our show? Yep. Okay, cool.
100%.
We need to start tracking that. We first have to remember the things that we say.
we can't even keep up with storylines some days, hence the whole Anna conversation. So,
yeah. But I just remember, I was like, because I remember that I was trying to figure that out because I couldn't remember which city it took place in.
Right. But yes, they point out that with Dalton being gone, that the dogs would have all suffered and died. And so they were just being helpful by letting the dogs out of their cages so that they did not suffer anymore.
And Rocco negotiated with Dante, I will go home with you if you just...
Right, let this go.
Forget that this was ever happened.
Yep. And I like that Sonny pointed out to Gio, he did that for you. Like, you guys are solid. It's fine. Dante just needs to get with the program. And then we see Joss get called to Brennan's office because she's the one that slipped the address to Emma about where the dogs really are. And I was totally with her. Like, why does it matter now? There was no information there for Emma to get. It's not like his top secret formulas were out on display next to the dogs or whatever. It was just simply save the animals.
Right. And then Brennan gives her a whole bunch of crap and says that he's talking about like relocating her. Well, this was later. Sorry, this was later in the week, like the second time that they saw each other, because we don't see them having Thanksgiving, but Joss goes home and went to grab a bag to leave, but then because she saw Kai's car park in the driveway, so she was like, okay, I'm going to grab some clothes and go. Trina forces her to talk, and she finds out that, you know, Joss and Vaughn had just been together, and now he's ignoring her, even though he's not. But then we see Brennan talking to Carly at her house, and he feels bad for her house not being full because he thinks it's because of him. And she's like, no, I'm why Lucas isn't here. And, you know, Michael, Amelia, and Wiley are the Quartermains. Like, you know, this is what happens when kids become adults and they start going and doing their own thing.
Right.
But then later we see Brennan talking with Joss, saying that he should relocate her because she continued her relationship with Vaughn after he told her not to, which is even more annoying because he knows that he just did something to Vaughn.
Right, exactly. And he's like, I just relocated Vaughn. He like admitted to that, but didn't get down to the nitty gritty. Like, you didn't just relocate him, you used force.
Well, she keeps saying, like, the whole reason you're even being somewhat decent to me is because you're sleeping with my mother.
Right.
And I love that she doesn't even say, like, you're in love with my mom or you're in a relationship with my mom. It's like, no, you are getting something out of this. And that's the only thing. Although everybody knows that, like, he is gaga over Carly. And then she says something. He says something about, no, we still need to be focusing on Sidwell's technology and this, that, and the other thing. And she's like, yeah, I know. So we can destroy it. He's like, no, the WSB wants to acquire it.
She is so much like her mom, and he should have seen this before he recruited her, that she is going to ask why. She is not a robot. It does not matter, you know, what training she has gone through. She is not the type of person to just do what you tell her to do. So her natural question is, why do you want that technology? What is the WSB going to do with it? And he's like, well, that's classified. It's none of your business. She's not just going to do what you said because you said it.
Right.
It's not happening.
And I guess that's like kind of one of those things that you want agents that just do what they're told.
Right.
But at the same time, you need agents who are skeptical and question things. So
Yeah.
I guess it's just supposed to be listen to what I say, but question everything else out there.
Right. Only when I give you permission to question things. And that's just not
Permission
how
to
it's
question,
going to
sir.
work. Right?
Exactly.
Not her. And then what else? Oh, at the Brown Dog, we saw Britt getting drunk and then pulled poor Cody into it. I did not like that. You do not get
I did
to
not like it at
destruct
all.
everyone else. You can be self-destructive, but no, you cannot pull other people into it. And she's trying to make Jason jealous because he's not showing any kind of reaction. He's just sitting there talking to Spinelli about they finally went to go see Maxie because of the holiday.
Right. Jason's talking to Spinelli about the love of his life being in a coma. And
Right.
Britt's like, hey, look at me, look at me.
Right.
Which he totally called her out on.
Yep. I do love their relationship and that he does not put up with any crap. So then she ends up kissing Cody right as Molly's walking in. Poor Molly.
After she got all cute, Christina helped her get ready to go out.
Yeah. No, I was
I mean,
sad for
Molly's cute
Molly.
to begin with, but like she got in a dress
She put
and
in that
heels
effort.
and
Yes.
yes.
Yes. She was trying to look extra special for him.
Yes.
And so then Jason ends up saying to Britt, like, okay, it's time for you to leave. You don't need more. And she challenges him to kiss her. And he's like, no, but I'll take you home because you've had too much to drink. And so he gets her back to her apartment and she's falling all over the place. And so then he ends up needing to help her take her shot. He never questions where it came from or anything like that.
Nope.
I also, when we get to talk to Steve eventually someday, I want to ask him now that he's older, like, does his back not hurt? He sits in that chair just watching over people for hours. And like when he was 19, 20, watching over Carly or whatever, okay, fine. But now, like, you are not a young man, sir. I could not sit in that chair overnight and just watch
You
someone
might have
sleep.
good lumbar support now.
Maybe.
Now that there's a little bit more money in the rooms above Kelly's, you know.
All right. I'll give him that. And I mean, he is definitely fit, so I'm sure he has better core muscles. But
you know what I learned at one of my networking events today from a physical therapist? That if you're over 25 years old and you get an MRI, something's going to be wrong.
Oh, okay.
You might not feel it, but something's wrong.
Depressing to know, but thank you for sharing.
Not wrong, but like you do not have a young body.
Right.
She was like, if you're over 25, something's going to be wrong. That's why it's like MRI should not be like the first line of diagnosing something, because like you might see something, but it could actually just not be a problem. It's just, oh, you're aging.
Okay. That makes sense. Depressing, but makes sense. But yeah, that was all I could think of whenever he like tucked her in and made sure she was good. And then he went over and sat in that chair that did look better than what they used to have, but not good enough to sit in for 8 hours watching someone sleep. Like, ow, it made my back hurt thinking about it. But anyway, yeah, I'm interested to see their conversation tomorrow whenever she wakes up and he says, you know, so what is this stuff that I was just injecting into you and where are you getting it from that you're so secretive and protective and all of that?
Well, do you think he's going to find the note?
I don't think so, unless it was right there with that box, because he's not one to go through her stuff.
Oh, I don't think he's going to snoop. I think it's just going to have, because everything fell on the ground.
Oh, maybe.
So maybe like it fell under the bed, you know, like it just maybe right there. And he's going to be like, so who's C? Wait a second. Your dad's name begins with a C.
But I was sure I killed that guy.
Nope. Sorry, Jason.
I don't know. I'm ready for that conversation. Like, come on, Britt, let's give some information so that Jason can help you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then speaking of visiting Maxie, we saw Felicia at the hospital. And she, I don't know, I felt like that was kind of forced. Like her interaction with Lucas and talking about Maxie and whatever. I liked where they got at the end finally for her to be like, I was your mom's best friend and I just remember how much she would, you know, be advocating for you and Carly to get along. So if there's any way you can forgive your sister, because as she was talking to Lucas, we saw Carly come in with a piece of pie for him saying that she missed having him at Thanksgiving and that she didn't mean what she said, but she also is concerned about the fact that they're living on Spoon Island. So,
yeah.
Which is totally, like, I don't understand why he's so upset by that. Like, all the stuff that's happened there. It's not a far reach for someone to be like, hey.
Well, he even kind of said it. Like, he wasn't upset about that. He's upset about the fact that she thinks that Marco doesn't actually like him. And then he's just using him. Like, that's the thing that's upsetting him is like, you really think that I am not lovable. You think that the only reason Marco wants anything to do with me is because he's using me. Like, I think that's what he was more upset about.
Okay, that makes sense. Because, the living in Windermere is just, anyone would question that.
Exactly. Or even living with Sidwell. Like, that's all fair concerns. But don't question that my boyfriend actually likes me.
Right. So is all that's left is the wedding?
Ava tricked Portia into meeting with her and Nina.
Oh,
and Ava wants Nina and Portia to make up. And we see them. Nothing really happened. They just started yelling at each other. I thought they were going to get in a fight and something was going to happen. I was actually thankful that didn't happen. I didn't want, especially after Nina knew that she was pregnant now.
Right. I didn't want something happening, but I also thought that it was kind of irresponsible of Portia to start yelling at her the way that she did, which made it seem like there might be an altercation knowing that she's pregnant. Like, I would be trying to control my temper and all of my emotions at that point in time because I would not be taking any chances.
And even say, listen, I need to stay calm right now. Like,
right.
I'm doing my best to not lose my mind on you. Something.
Yes.
Yeah. I hear you.
Do you want to go to the wedding or to Curtis?
Your call.
I'll go to the wedding because that was kind of like anticlimactic. We saw Alexis show up. We saw Nina show up, and Nina said again, like, are you sure you want to do this? Because I can help you. I'll buy you a house. I'll get you whatever you need. You do not need Drew to be stable. I will help you figure it out. And Willow finally admitted that it's not about her feelings for Drew. It's going to look amazing in court to be standing next to the man who I'm accused of shooting and be able to say, this is my husband. So I'll do whatever I need to do for my kids. And then, it shows her hesitating whenever they're doing the vows, but she ends up saying yes. I thought it was creepy that Michael was like peering in the window. That was weird.
It was. Yeah.
Like, I just needed to see for myself that she did it. Why? Like, you already know that she's not of sound mind. Why are you risking getting arrested for trespassing or any of that? Like, they're already trying to build a case against you. Why are you giving them more fuel for their fire? It doesn't make any sense.
Right. I mean, they still might be Facebook friends. So he would see when she changes her status.
Right? Or someone else can spy for him. It's okay.
Right.
Ask Brooklyn to check. It'll be all right. But Scout looks cute. That was the highlight of it. Scout looked really pretty. And her conversation with Willow was sweet. So, and then she got to go home with the Davis girls finally so that they could go on their honeymoon. So I was happy.
And she got the bouquet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she had good odds there. So,
yeah, they all let her.
Right. No one was running for that thing.
They were like, nope, been there, done that, not happening.
And of all the bouquets I want to catch, one from Drew's wedding is not it. So,
no.
Yeah, I think that was good.
I did like that. Liz and Alexis had a really good conversation about how, and then Alexis talking to Scout. So Liz and Alexis were talking about kind of both agreeing that without saying anything, it's all messed up what's happening today. Willow loves Scout. Scout loves Willow. So like they both felt good for that. And then Scout says that she just wants them to be happy. She tells this to Alexis, and that she really hopes after this happens, she'll be allowed to see the rest of her family like Drew or Rocco and Danny.
Yes, that was sad.
So I feel like she's making a concession in her own head. She's like, all right, I'll deal with this if it means I get to see my brothers.
Right. Poor Scout.
I know. I did like when Kai shows up and was like, hey, stopping by, can't come to the wedding.
Right.
Already made plans weeks ago before you decided to just get married today.
Exactly. Maybe if I had like a week notice, I would have been able to change my schedule for you, but I already have plans with Trina.
I liked Martin as an officiant, though.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He did good. Oh, the books on Drew's shelf, there was one about Portia's, and then there was something about Monet. Not that the title is not something about Monet, but there was it just said Monet, but then it had like words above it. I just couldn't see what the words above were.
Porsche's, like the car, like Portia's name? Maybe that's
no, Porsche. Like Porsche.
Yeah, but maybe it's an Easter egg. Portia?
I actually thought about that.
That's who actually killed him.
Uh-huh.
Or was trying to kill him. And that would make the storyline so much better.
Yes, but
I would like that.
The reveal we had this week.
No, I was not there for it. Go ahead, you're excited, so you can talk about it.
I'm not excited. I did not see it coming. Like, I'm not happy with. Well, because now it's not a whodunit.
I feel like it was completely.
I mean, we find out who does it anyway in all whodunits, but we see.
Go ahead.
Well, so Marshall is at Thanksgiving with Curtis, Trina, and Stella. Jordan just randomly shows up and brings over greens, even though she wasn't even coming to dinner.
But she was invited by Stella.
Okay. I missed that because I was like, I don't just, if I randomly stop by someone's house, like when we bring fudge, that is a random pop by gift. You don't just randomly pop by side dishes. Unless you're known for it.
I'm going to bring some corn over tomorrow. Just here you go, Shannon. I thought of you when I saw this corn.
Exactly. But hey, another person that was mentioned, TJ.
Yes.
Marshall told her to stay because TJ's out of town, but she left. And Curtis went after her and said not to go. And then Marshall and Stella are arguing, and Marshall says something about Portia being pregnant, and Trina overhears it. And then she goes out to go after Curtis, and then she sees Jordan and Curtis kissing. I wanted her so badly to be I wanted when she left for us to next see her busting into her mom's room.
Yes. Whenever Portia was locking the door to eat with Isaiah, I wanted, as she went to lock it, for Trina to be busting in, or for her to not lock it, just shut it. And as they were making out, Trina come in to yell about, I just saw Dad kissing Jordan, and then be like, wait a second, you're kissing someone that's not Dad.
And you're pregnant.
Right.
Yep. That's exactly what I wanted to. But then we see Nathan show up to arrest Curtis.
Yes.
In front of Trina. And, Trina and Kai are already like so worried about all of this. And then Nathan starts questioning Curtis with Jordan present, because even though Curtis asked for an attorney.
Right. They couldn't find one because it was the holiday. And so instead of holding off on questioning, they're
supposed to.
Just are like, oh, well, Jordan's a good enough friend. She can sit in here. She knows the law.
So we see Curtis having these flashbacks because Nathan's making him walk through the timeline. And he's like, oh, well, we check the security footage, or the alarm codes were like turned off at this time, on at this time. What were you doing in between? Blah, blah, blah. And turns out Curtis was meeting with Ms. Wu. That's why I was excited, because we got her back. But he ordered Drew to be killed.
Yeah.
For $1 million.
I mean, I feel like he could have found somebody to do it for less, but
here's the biggest problem. Nathan keeps saying, well, as a former cop, he would know this. As a former cop, he would know this. Well, Detective West, he was never a cop.
Right.
He was a private investigator, and he worked for the DEA. He was not a cop.
He was not.
So, boom.
Right.
Maybe if he was a cop, your stuff would have. Granted, he worked in. You should have just kept saying being a private investigator.
Right.
Because I feel like you would know more, because you have to know how to be sneaky.
Right.
Cops should not know how to be sneaky.
I'll bite my tongue on that one.
I know. Should not. That's what I said. Should.
I know. I understand.
But PIs are expected to.
Right. Because they're following people. They're who should be taking pictures of Sonny and Laura at the car.
Right.
Yeah, I was happy to see Miss Wu because obviously I love her. But other than that, I just thought that it was stupid. It was
Yep.
okay. Now Curtis did it. Oh my gosh, we've all been wrong for all these weeks. And then he's talking to Jordan later and is like, well, so I hired her, but then I unhired her. And where I really was I went back to Aurora because I had to stop the transfer on the same network that I had initiated it. But I couldn't tell him that I went back to the office. Why couldn't you just said you went back to the office to check on paperwork or whatever?
Right.
You
Yeah.
forgot your wallet, like anything. Because then those codes, I'm sure there's a code on the office. It would show you punching into the office and then punching back out again. Unless they subpoena your records from your computer, which if you don't mention you were on the computer and everything else is checking out, I don't see why they would.
Right.
They just want an alibi. I checked in here, I checked out here. So I don't understand. And I don't understand. I get that we're not keeping secrets and all that stuff, but I don't understand why he told Jordan either because they don't have the spousal privilege. So if she ends up on the stand, what is she going to do? You're really trying to put her in that position?
And do you know that Wisconsin withdrew the spousal privilege?
I did not, but I'll make sure I never
Hold
do
on.
anything bad in Wisconsin once I get married again.
There are exceptions to it because there was a show that I was watching. I can't remember which one it was, but it was like one of those ID network shows. And the couple got married. You know, they did the crime. And he said, yeah, she said that we needed to get married because of this whole thing. And the next scene was the lady's like, well, she did not keep up with, I think it was Wisconsin law because that was altered or whatever, like a decade ago.
Oh, wow. All right.
So
make sure I check my...
Yeah, your spouse could absolutely turn on you in several states.
All right. I'll check the laws before I do any crimes with my...
Yep. I mean, you should just not do the crimes. There's that, but...
Sometimes that's not an option, apparently.
Right.
But yeah,
so, I mean, do we think... I don't think it's going to stay because here's... Okay, my first thought when Selena said, I know just the person to do it. My first thought was Jacinda.
You think?
It was just the first thing that popped in my head when she said that. I was like, darn it, it's going to be Jacinda.
I've seen other people on the internet have that same thought process, but I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want
not saying like I should be the only one thinking about that, but like from Ms. Wu saying that.
I don't know that they drew the conclusion from Miss Wu, but just saying that they think that it was Jacinda. You know, that Jacinda would,
in general,
that she would be not just a call girl, like someone for hire for other activities also.
Ooh.
So
like that's another business. She's diversified.
Right. She's a jack of all trades. You have to have
multiple streams of income.
Yes. But no, I want to stick with the Pretty Woman storyline of...
Me too.
All that she did was that activity, and now she is turned legit by being Nina's secretary, assistant, whatever, and she's falling in love with Michael, and they're going to live happily ever after.
I loved them this week.
Yes.
Because she said something about like in 5 years, and he's like, wasn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like...
Yeah, she said they're cute. Their meet cute wouldn't be that cute. And he was like, oh, 5 years from now. And she was like, whatever. I was just saying it's not a good story. And then she invited him back to her room, like not as a client.
Yes. They kissed on the mouth.
Yes. So.
Man, there's a whole generation that doesn't understand that.
Yeah. They need to watch some Pretty Woman.
I know. It did not age well. But you have to go back into the 80s mindset, 90s, 80s, 90s mindset, and watch it with those eyes.
Yes.
And now you understand why there's a whole generation that is the way that it is.
Exactly. But anyway,
The other thing was Stella telling Marshall that Irene would be so disappointed.
Yes.
And that he didn't know her at all.
Right. And that's part of the reason that Stella was so upset then whenever Trina said, I just saw my dad kissing Jordan, and she was like, what are you talking about? It was like, not only should she not be doing that, but to add insult to injury, like I invited her to Thanksgiving because she didn't have anyone. And so that was whenever she mentioned it. But yeah, poor Marshall's like, I just want my son to be happy, and you don't have to be with the mother of your child. So if things aren't working out, then they're not working out. I didn't tell him to go hook up with Jordan. I'm just supporting my son.
Right.
And yeah, it's time for Trina to find out about Isaiah. I think that's what bugs me with this whole storyline is she keeps walking around, my mom, like she's the victim. No, you need to know that your mom is not all perfect and sweet.
And she even said that. She's like, I feel like both of my parents could have done it. Like either one.
Yes. I feel like from the shadow that it wasn't Portia, but I would like that twist that Curtis was trying to arrange it and then changed his mind, and then it turns out that it was Portia anyway.
Exactly.
But I'm still sticking with Willow. I know she's the obvious
I was really
choice.
disappointed by the lack of breakdowns during the wedding.
Yeah.
I thought for sure because there was something she saw on the mantle.
The hair clip that Scout was looking for.
Yeah. But I thought that like there was going to be like a vantage point that like the last time she had been standing in that spot was, and that it would have been the flashback trigger. Yeah.
Yep. I'm with you.
But no, it was just a hair clip.
Yeah, they didn't give us anything. And same thing whenever she was hesitating for the vows. Like, they kind of zoomed in on her for a second that you thought she was going to flash over to shooting him. And instead, she just paused and was like, yeah, sure, I'll marry you, whatever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Is that everything?
I think so.
Reality check.
Doesn't really segue into reality check very well. I didn't murder anyone, and I didn't go to any weddings.
Oh, okay. So just a boring week then.
Right. No, Monday was Madeline's birthday, official birthday. So Sunday we had gone over to my mom's and did the birthday party with the family. And then Monday, she took a mental health happy birthday day from school, and her and my son's girlfriend went out shopping to just like Target and Ulta. She went and collected all her free birthday gifts everywhere.
I need to do that. I don't do that.
Oh, you're ridiculous. You have to do it. Yes. So she got free detangler from Ulta. She was supposed to get a free drink from Starbucks, but whenever she created her account, she put in a different birthday, so she did have a free drink. And then from Sephora was a free... Is
that your nice way of saying she lied about her age?
I don't know how old you have to be. You probably are supposed to be 13 to have their app, but I'm not really positive. I think it was more of if you create the account, then you get a free drink. And so she was trying to get a free drink on a random whatever.
On a random Tuesday instead of her birthday.
Yeah, like I'll take it now instead of on my birthday because I'm broke. And then, oops, now it's her birthday. So lesson learned, whatever.
Oops.
She, lucky for her, she had got birthday money on Sunday, so she had money to buy her own Starbies, so she was good. But anyway, yeah, it was just like a fun day of a girl's day. She spent all her birthday money buying all the things that 13-year-old girls need, all the skincare and stuff that, because they're aging so much at 13. And then we met one of her friends for dinner, and they gave her present and stuff. So it was very, very sweet. And then we have plans later today to meet up with my sister and some friends to do some cookie making. So we were trying to stay in the holiday season and that whole feeling. Yes, but that's all. Not as much fun as you had, apparently. So
yeah, I mean, we just had our annual holiday party at a friend's house, but it's always a good time. And we always get, it's like supposed to be an ugly sweater, but you just wind up wearing whatever. So JD and I started a few years ago. It was when I found Star Wars. We pretty much always wind up with t-shirts, but they had like long sleeve t-shirts that were in like the ugly sweater pattern. But mine said, I love you. And his said, I know, which is Leia and Solo say that. And I was like, oh, I love that. And so we've kind of on most years tried to find like a way to do like something together. And he loves the snow, and I am very much I want to be in my pool. And so I got him a Snow Miser t-shirt and I Heat Miser t-shirt.
Oh, cute.
And one guy made us dance and sing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, he wanted to know that we knew the movie.
And
So-
you do. You absolutely do. So
Yep. So we're good. We were allowed to keep our shirts on then, which was good because I had nothing else to wear. But the best part of the week was the very beginning of the week. My daughter had an interview with a local animal rescue, and she has been hired and will start in January, and she will be paid to work with the animals. So
that's awesome. There's not a more perfect job for her. So that is awesome.
nope. And we were struggling with, she just wants to work with animals, and most jobs are like vet tech, whatever. And there are so many rescues and shelters and stuff like that, but they're all volunteer. And
Right.
so I was trying to get her to understand, listen, just get any job, like work at a grocery store, work somewhere just so that you can make your money, get independent, stuff like that. And
Right.
then you go volunteer at the shelter. But now she can do both. She can get paid and work with the animals. So
I'm so happy for her. That is perfect.
me too. And it's been a great week. It was a great way to start the last month of the year.
Awesome.
So yeah. But yeah, that was really it. Celebrated a lot this week, I guess.
That's good. That's what December's supposed to be. All good stuff.
Yes. Which unfortunately does not transition well into us talking about Bobby Part 14, because now we're coming up on the end of it.
Yeah.
But it's not the last episode, so we're still celebrating-ish.
Right. We still have to get through all of Nell, which is going to be great. So this week is just kind of when Nell's first being introduced and Bobby's picking up on it. So
Okay.
yeah.
Very nice. All right, so with that, join us on Thursday as we talk about Bobby Part 14.
Have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review. And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.